So, hello and welcome everyone. So, we're going to do something different. Um, my readings are going to be canceled for a little bit. Um, because I'm connecting to people and it seems that individuals are pretty much going through the same thing. And every time I do my cards, it's saying the same shit like over and over again. You know, I woke up this morning and I just had a lot of energy. I had to go in and declutter some things. So, I am an art therapist. I am studying to be an art therapy practitioner right now. So, um, I have been doing art therapy for a while. I actually have a membership for my art therapy, and I also have another channel that is a little more practical. Of course, before I started art therapy, I was pretty much a spiritualist, and collaborating art therapy and my experience and knowledge of being a spiritualist, it just kind of collides together. Now, in my membership, majority of it is pretty much all spiritual. you know um on my um on my YouTube channel, you know, I try to keep it practical. You know, you got to pay for the good stuff. That's what I tell myself. They got to pay for the good stuff. But there has been a change. I've been working very closely with my guides. They all seem to have disappeared, and I'm not picking up on any outside energy, like dealing with any type of warfare. So I know that I'm connecting straight to the source, my higher self and God. So this is like a one-on-one thing, and this is going to be very important. And I was instructed to do an art therapy session in place of a reading. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm cooking dinner at the same time I'm doing this. I was going to get everything set up. The moment that I set the camera and the tripod, it came on immediately. So it's just like I know what time it is. So um, I did an art therapy session to where a lot of the art therapy sessions in which that I do have a lot to do with decluttering. Okay, because clutter holds trauma, and a lot of what I do is to help individuals clear out trauma. All right, we're dealing with generations of trauma just as individuals coming into the world. Okay, so it's a lot of work, and through my art therapy, I show individuals just a different way, as to how they can begin to heal certain traumas within them and incorporate daily living, so it doesn't seem so much of a, oh, I need to get away. There are going to be times to where you do have to get away, but I mean, the system in which that I've created is kind of like healing as you go, you know. But anyway, look, I just did a session, so I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so these are my paintbrush holders. So these are my small paintbrushes, and these are my paint tools. These are my more taller brushes. So these projects have been completed, and so what I did is that I went in and I started to declutter things for my art supplies, and then I went into the bathroom, cleaned up the bathroom, organized, and decluttered some things as well. And I really couldn't understand too much of what was going on with me, but in decluttering my bathroom, I came across these. Okay, and after I cleaned them up, I assembled them this way. And I told myself, I said, I don't really know if I want to do another art therapy session right now, because I am working on another project. I'm always working on a lot of projects at once. But I I do know I need to slow down right now, um, but when I assembled these, I said this looks like an institution. You know, this looks like buildings. There's something going on with institutions like military, school systems, um, prison, court systems, organizations. Is something like that in which that's going on. And so what I was enlightened to is that the first session that we're going to get into is going to have a lot to do with perspective. Okay, so I'm going to put these back. Okay, so now we are about to get started. What I'm going to do is pretty simple. I'm just going to glue the bottles. Well, I have to cut them down, but I'm going to glue them in the way in which that I have them set up here.
You appeared and it was like a dream. Forget your fears.
Okay, so our project here, okay, so I just glued it to pretty much stabilize it. Of course, I have to stabilize it underneath. So what we're going to go in and do in our next session is that we're going to paper mache everything together. Okay, so there's something here about perception, you know, like when looking at this figure, it gives you different perspectives. You know, you see different things in which that are going on. So it's kind of like you're seeing certain things, but you're not really doing anything about it. There's a very big decision in which that you're going to have to make, right? And it's actually a judgment call, which means that it's very purposeful. So if somebody is nervous about having to leave a job, you know, it could be a 6-figure job, a very stable job, you know, God is calling you to pass judgment on that job and for you to make a decision about leaving or staying. Okay, but I'm going to tell you, you know, I pick up that it's about time for you to leave, but you may be afraid because you don't want to leave the stability behind. Okay, so the thing is that whenever we are called, you know that you're getting the call, you're getting synchronicities. It may feel as if you're being ran out of there. You know what I mean? It seems like I just have this vision. It's like a crowd of people, you know, and they're running towards an individual. You know, it's like they're trying to back them into a corner or something. You know, this is not your fight. This is not a fight for your ancestors, for your guides. You know what I'm saying? This is a fight for yourself. You know, if you stand up for yourself, and it's like if you answer the call, I'm trying to avoid telling you what to do, but it's just like, I know though. I know that, you know, God wants you out of there for whatever reason. And it's probably getting very intense, you know. Don't be afraid. because whenever God calls on you, it's because there's something better for you. You just have to let go, take that leap of faith, and trust. You have a tremendous amount of faith. You know, who were you before this job? Of course, I'm pretty sure the job has molded you mentally, because it may have provided you with more money, with more stability. I'm pretty sure that you have been very comfortable. When we live a life that's a little more fun, it kind of feels unstable, you know. But this job has been very catalytic for you in a lot of ways. Financially, within yourself, taking better care of yourself. It's like, this job has molded you into a different version of yourself, right? But it's kind of like it's an experience for you to have had to learn things, you know. But the time is up, you know. Before that job, you may have lived a life to where you were having a lot more fun. If you had a job, you didn't have a job that provided you with so much security, but your life, you were happier. You were a little more stress-free. You know what I'm saying? So it's like being called back to that time, because that's you. You are a free spirit, and it's your faith that carries you for a very long time. And it's like this job has made you forget about that, and you may have held on to it longer than what you were supposed to, but it was very purposeful, because like I said, there's a lot in which that you learn. So now you're going to take everything in which that you learned from this job, and you're going to go back to living that happy life, and you're going to combine. It's like this job made you stronger. It's made you stronger. It's made you smarter. You may have felt like your life before, it wasn't as responsible as you wanted it to. You weren't as responsible as you wanted to be, or you didn't know how to handle your money in the way in which that you wanted to. This job has taught you everything. So now you can go back in to having fun, living a funner, happier life, creating more of a lifestyle for yourself. Okay? And like I said, everything in which that you've learned from this job, you can now incorporate it into the newness in which that's coming for you. Okay? But I mean, that's pretty much going to be our introduction session. So we're going to come back and we are going to get into session 1. But until then, thank you, and we'll talk again.
Forget your fears, release your inner power, and keep on moving. Keep on moving. I never saw you come